been waiting for this moment. That's it! That's the stance! I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume. Stay where you are. I've had enough of your judo.
I see you've got yourself a single-action army.
That's right. There'll be no accidents this time.
You call that an accident? Well, it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been showing off.
What did you say?
It's a nice gun, I'll give you that. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see.
That thing only carries 6 shots. The Makarov carries 8. You have to get a feel for how many you have left. This is a high-class weapon. It's not meant for shooting people.
Damn! This isn't over yet.
Don't.
Why?
He's still young.
You'll regret stopping me. Damn it! I've got to get back before he does.
What's wrong?
Speak.
Fruits on the tree branches.
Speak.
You lousy!
Freeze. Speak.
While falling, press the action.
Speak.
Under the rope bridge. Flat. Who's that?
Freeze.
No, wait!
Hey, Snake, remember back at the abandoned factory when you whittled the grip of that 45 down?
Yeah,
I've never heard of a customization like that before. Why the grip?
to fit it with a knife.
A knife? You're gonna keep the knife and the gun both at the ready?
That's the idea.
Why would you want to do that?
Sometimes a knife works better in close proximity encounters. So I equip both at the same time. That way I can switch back and forth in an instant.
Badass. So that's that.
CQC.
Snake, you said Eva said her Mauser was a Type 17, right?
Yeah, what about it?
That model was produced in the 1920s in a weapons lab in the Shaanxi province in China. The cartridge part sticks out lower than the original to accommodate 45 caliber rounds. The barrel and chamber are a little bit thicker too. But most telling of all, it's got Chinese characters engraved on both sides of the frame like you saw. And that firing stance Eva was talking about where you hold the gun horizontally, that's a trademark of the Chinese. Just like you were saying, when you're firing in full auto mode, the muzzle jump effect gives you a horizontal strafing motion. They say it's especially deadly in indoor and close-range mop-up actions. The Japanese called it bandit shooting and used to dread it. Makes you wonder where she learned to shoot like that. You know that army motorcycle that Eva was riding? That's a replica of a German model.
A replica?
Yeah. After World War II, the Soviets confiscated an entire assembly line from a German motorcycle factory, machines and all.
And then they took it back with them and started producing replicas?
Exactly. Originally, that motorcycle was designed to be used with a sidecar attached. That means it's got enough power to drag a 200-plus pound sidecar around.
So that's how she could pull off all those crazy stunts.
Uh-huh. Of course, it takes a lot of skill to be able to control that much power. That Eva chick is something else. Wearing the leaf pattern camouflage, are you? Leaf pattern is a forest camouflage created to provide cover in woodland areas. Now that our involvement in Vietnam looks set to expand, they're thinking about adopting it for official use. It'll help you blend in, especially well when you're hiding in the bushes. So, you're wearing woodland face paint. The woodland paint is most effective in forest environments. It'll work best if you use it when infiltrating forest areas.
It looks like you've got rid of all the ocelots.
Yeah.
Now proceed with the rescue of Sokolov. According to Eva, you should start by going to the crevice to the north and...
Can we trust her?
What's that?
Eva is with the KGB, isn't she? Can I really believe what she says? How do I know she won't double-cross me?
There are no guarantees in espionage, Snake, only calculated guesses. At this point in time, the KGB stands nothing to gain by stabbing us in the back.
So you're saying I can trust her?
I'm saying the chance that she'll betray you is low.
Ah.
Of course, we checked the route she gave you against our own data. It looks like a pretty solid infiltration route. It makes good use of weak spots in the enemy's defenses. You shouldn't have any problems. Follow the route Eva showed you and proceed with the mission.
Roger.
First, enter the cave through the crevice. Eva said it was to the north, so head that way. First, enter the cave through the crevice. Eva said it was to the north. Eva was right when she said that operating in an unknown jungle at night is extremely dangerous. In my former outfit, the SAS, we'd always be sure to set up camp before sunset and wait until daybreak before setting out again. Being able to stay in that abandoned factory made things a lot easier for you. You ought to be thanking Eva.
Major, what's this temptation Eva was talking about?
In the Old Testament of the Bible, Eve was seduced by a snake into tasting the fruit of knowledge. By eating the forbidden fruit, Adam and Eve disobeyed God's command and were cast out from the Garden of Eden. Thus, it was the snake who led mankind into original sin.
Come to think of it, I did break a rib in the virtuous mission. Maybe that's where Eva came from.
But the one who tempted Adam into eating the forbidden fruit was Eve. You may be working together, but she's still a KGB operative. Don't let your guard down.
I don't intend to.
Snake, your number one priority in this mission is rescuing Sokolov. Eva said he is in the lab, so head over there.
Right.
Do you remember how to get to the lab?
You mean what Eva told me?
Yes.
Of course I do.
All right, repeat it for me.
Major, do you think I'd forget something like that?
Let's hear it then.
First, I head north,
Hmm?
and then I'll come to a crevice,
And then?
and then...
All right, let's go over this one more time. First, head north through the jungle. Enter the cave through the crevice to the north. Follow the cave to the end and you'll come out in an aqueduct surrounded by mangrove. Follow the aqueduct to the north and you should arrive at a warehouse. Climb out of the water and enter the warehouse. After you've infiltrated the warehouse, pass through it to the north. Then you'll emerge in the woods again. The lab will be directly to the north. Are we clear now?
Yeah.
Snake.
I got it. Basically, I just head north, right?
Snake, I heard you got a scientist disguise from Eva.
Yeah.
Go to uniform on the camouflage screen and choose scientist to disguise yourself as a scientist.
Scientist, huh?
But it won't do you any good to go around the jungle wearing a scientist disguise.
No one would be that stupid.
You're right. No one would think of going around the jungle in a scientist disguise. If they did, they'd have to be a fool. No, more than a fool. A complete dumbass. Don't you think so, Snake?
Yeah. Major, tell me a little bit more about the space race.
In 1957, the Soviet Union succeeded in launching their first artificial satellite, Sputnik, into orbit. Having been beaten to the chase by the Soviets, the US government accelerated its own space program in an effort to catch up. The following year, the space development programs of the various service branches were united to form the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. That same year, the Mercury program was launched with the goal of putting a man into space. 7 candidates were chosen from the military as the first astronauts. These were the men with the right stuff. But as you know, it was a Soviet cosmonaut, Yuri Gagarin, who made the first successful manned spaceflight 3 years ago. NASA's first successful ballistic flight came 1 month after Gagarin's mission, with the Freedom 7 carrying Alan Shepard into space. After that, with America still lagging behind the Soviets in orbital flight, President Kennedy made a momentous decision: that America would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Yeah, I heard that speech, but a lot of guys I knew weren't real happy about it. They said no one was going to make them go on a mission to blow up some damn moon base.
But rocket research and missile research are closely related. Imagine, if you will, a Soviet Union able to send wave after wave of nuclear missiles raining down on Washington from a base on the surface of the moon. Even if that's still a long way from reality, if we lose the initiative, we may never get it back. We're left with no choice but to keep moving forward one step at a time. The Gemini program, launched 2 years ago, represents the initial step towards establishing a moon base. And yet, I don't want to call President Kennedy a liar, but I simply can't imagine that in 6 years man will have reached the moon.
I don't know. I never even thought we'd make it up into space. I guess it all depends on whether you have the will to make it happen.
Perhaps you're right. Snake, camouflage and face paint alone won't make you blend in completely. In addition to the camouflage itself, your physical position is a crucial dynamic you should keep in mind.
That area is home to the Sunda whistling thrush. You can capture animals alive. That area is... Snake, there are rats. When you get hurt, you're...
First, head north through the jungle. Enter the cave through the... First, enter the cave through the crevice. Eva said it was to the north.
Tell me something, Sigint.
What's that?
What does Sigint mean, anyway?
It's short for signal intelligence.
Signal intelligence?
The part of intelligence that deals with electronic information. things like intercepting and analyzing electronic communications, determining enemy force strength and positioning from radar emissions and radio chatter. You get the idea. Code breaking is considered part of SIGINT as well. 40 years from now, we'll be in the age of electronic warfare. It won't be long before information replaces firepower as the most valuable commodity on the battlefield.
So you're saying they won't need guys like me anymore?
Sorry to break it to you, but that's not gonna happen. No matter how advanced our technology gets, there's still no substitute for human beings. Anyway, the Major is a man of foresight. He knew the electronic age was coming, and so he called out to me.
And you responded.
Well, I didn't have any place else to go.
You couldn't find a job?
Nope. None of the places where they do this kind of high-tech research would even let me in the door.
Why not? I know you've got social problems, but
Come again?
nothing. I mean, someone with your talent ought to be able to...
Yeah, well, maybe it has something to do with the fact that I'm black. The Major, though, he doesn't care about what color you are. I've never met anyone like him before. He's different, you know?
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't think racism's gonna go away even in the 21st century. But I want to work with computers and use them to bring people closer together. In the digital world, it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, American or Russian or whatever. Everybody's gonna be the same. That's what I think. Hey, you've got an M1911A1.
Yeah, a 45. 50 years since the Army adopted the first model, and they're still using them. It's a real gem of an automatic pistol.
But aren't you gonna need more than just one little handgun?
Not at all. When you're in a tight spot or fighting in close quarters, sometimes a handgun works better than a rifle. And if I equip a knife at the same time, I can instantaneously switch over to hand-to-hand combat.
I see. That 45 you've got there is a lot different from the original, though. Looks like someone did some serious work on it.
It's more than a little. First of all, the feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. It's not going to have any feeding problems. The slide's been replaced with a reinforced version, and it meshes perfectly with the frame. The frame itself has been iron welded and scraped down multiple times for maximum precision. The front strap part of the frame has been checkered to make it dig into the hand. That prevents any slipping. The sight system's original too. It's a 3-dot type. It's got an enlarged front sight, giving it superior target sighting capability. The regular hammer's been replaced with a ring hammer. That enhances the cocking control and increases the hammer down speed. They also reworked the grip safety to accommodate the ring hammer. Looks like they eliminated it altogether. This is a tool for pros. The thumb safety and the slide stop are extended to allow for more precise handling. The base of the trigger guard is whittled down so you can use a high grip. And the trigger itself is a long type for easy finger access. The trigger pull is about 3.5 pounds. That's about 1.5 pounds lighter than normal. The magazine well has been widened to make it easier to put in a new magazine. The magazine catch button has been cut down low to make it harder to hit it by mistake. The mainspring housing has been changed to a flat type to increase grip, and it's even been fitted with stepping so it doesn't slip from the recoil when firing. On top of that, they added cocking serrations to the front part of the slide. That lets you load and eject cartridges faster in an emergency. Whoever did this is a professional. No question, this thing could shoot a one-hole at 25 yards in a machine rest.
Well, I'll be damned. That's some gun.
Yeah, I've never used a weapon this fine in my life.
The Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. You can use it to take enemies down without hurting them. The thing is, the amount of time it takes for the tranquilizer to work depends on which part of the body the dart hits. If you need to drop an enemy in one shot, aim for the head. The Mark 22 can also be equipped with a suppressor. With a suppressor equipped, you won't need to worry about anybody hearing the shot. But the suppressor will deteriorate each time the gun is fired. The durability of your suppressor is displayed on the weapon icon whenever the suppressor is equipped. Be sure to keep an eye on it. A suppressor can be unequipped by pressing the... It's a good idea to take the suppressor off a gun when you don't need it. The weapon you've got equipped now is a prototype model of a suppressor-equipped pistol currently in development by the Navy. It's been modified to act as a tranquilizer gun. The Mark 22 is a heavily modified special ops version of the M39 pistol used as a sidearm by the SEAL. Probably the biggest change from the M39 is that it's got a longer barrel, which allows it to be equipped with a suppressor. And it uses a slide lock mechanism. That makes it a lot quieter, but it also means you have to load a new round into the chamber by hand every time you fire. It's also fitted with tall, adjustable sights, so you can use the front and rear sights to line up your shot, even with a suppressor attached.
Looks like they got rid of the magazine safety, too.
Good eye. That feature wasn't too popular with guys like you who know their gun. The shear release lever's been taken off as well, meaning the hammer won't fall even with the safety on.
So I can just cock and lock.
That, and you get the added bonus of not having any mechanical noise from decocking, even with the safety on. The perfect pistol for a sneaking mission, huh? I've never seen a grenade like that one before. There are two basic types of grenades. Fragmentation grenades, which use shrapnel to kill or maim the target, and explosive grenades, which use the blast from the explosion as the offensive means. But the grenade you've got there isn't either of those. My best guess is that it's meant to knock the enemy out without hurting them. Most likely, it's an entirely new kind of weapon developed exclusively at Groznygrad. I've heard that the SAS is working on a low-impact grenade for training purposes, but I never thought they'd be used in an actual battle. The flash of light that occurs when the grenade explodes is probably produced by magnesium. It's the same stuff that's used in camera flashes. I'm thinking they cut down on killing power by reducing the amount of explosives and made up for it by making the flash and bang so strong that it overwhelms the enemy's senses. I guess you could call it a stun grenade.
If I'm going to be stunned, I'd rather it be by a woman.
Snap out of it. Anyone around when that thing goes off will be laid out. It ought to come in handy when you're trying to storm a room or when you don't want to kill the enemy.
To eat food, press the survival view. Go to food. Select when you eat. Snake, there are rats living in that area. The rats in that area, they're not. That area is home. Do you want to save? Snake, have you seen Earth versus the Spider?
Nope.
It's about this spider that suddenly mutates into a giant monster. They bring it into the city in a state of hibernation, but it wakes up and starts wrecking the place.
So why did the spider turn huge?
I told you, it suddenly mutated.
Yeah, right.
Snake, it's people like you that take all the fun out of watching movies. Always nitpicking and taking things too seriously. Honestly, why even bother? Look, the important thing isn't that it got big.
Then what is important?
The fact that there's a huge spider destroying the city. Suspend your disbelief. That's the whole point of movies.